You're listening to Radio After Rain, where the storms we've weathered make space for softer skies. I'm your host, and this is a place for the tender-hearted, the overthinkers, and the ones learning to bloom after being broken. Here, we speak honestly, we heal out loud, and we remind each other that even after the rain, there's still beauty, still hope, still you. Let's begin. There are some stories I've carried for years without telling. Some about friendships. Stories about friendships that slipped through my fingers, not because I stopped loving them, but because I didn't know how to show up as the person they needed, while I was still trying to figure out how to be there for myself. This isn't about blame, it's about reflection. It's about looking back at the people I lost, because of others, because of me, and sometimes just because. It's about the weight of silence, the sting of misunderstanding, and the bittersweet growth that followed. This is me writing the words I couldn't say back then, to honor what was, and to release what never got the ending it deserved. The friendships that didn't survive the fire. We talk a lot about romantic breakups, but friendship breakups, they can hurt just as much, sometimes even more. I lost a few good ones, not because they didn't care, but because I was drowning in my own stuff and I couldn't say, I'm not okay. Some of them drifted away slowly, like low tide. Some left all at once, like a door slammed during a storm. But all of them left a mark. Sometimes it wasn't even about what I did. Sometimes it was what someone else said about me, or a story that got twisted, or silence that grew into resentment. Or maybe I should have reached out. Maybe they should have. But we didn't. And now we don't. I was in my head, not in the moment. I think back at the times they needed me and I wasn't there. Not because I don't care, but because I was trapped in my own thoughts, spinning in circles trying to keep myself together. I overthought text. I assumed people didn't want me around. I shrugged myself, or I pushed people away because it felt safer that way. And by the time I realized I was bleeding all over people who didn't cut me, the damage was already done. The pain of being misunderstood. Some people left because they believed things about me that wasn't true. Because someone else painted me in a color I never asked to wear. And I didn't defend myself. Didn't explain, didn't fight for it. Not because I didn't care, but because I was exhausted. Because a part of me believed I deserved it. Because I thought maybe losing them was punishment for not being perfect. And that's the saddest part. Sometimes we let go of people who loved us because we stopped believing we were worth loving. Growth tastes like grief sometimes. I've changed since then, the hard way, the honest way. I've learned that friendship is fragile, especially when people are healing in different directions. I've learned that holding pain inside doesn't make it go away. It just makes it harder for the people who care to get close. But I've also learned how to take accountability, how to sit with a version of me that hurt people without meaning to, how to say, I was wrong, and mean it, how to grieve people who are still alive, and send them silent blessings even if we never speak again. To the ones I lost, if you ever hear this, know that I still remember the inside jokes, the deep talks, the way we used to feel like home to each other. I wish I had been softer, more honest, more present. I wish I had asked more questions before assuming the worst. I wish I had healed faster, for your sake and mine. But most of all, I hope you're good. I hope you're surrounded by people who see you clearly and love you fully. I hope your laugh still fills the room, because even if we never find our way back, a part of me will always be rooting for you. Now I love better. The loss taught me how to stay when things get uncomfortable, how to listen without jumping to defend myself, how to ask someone what they need instead of assuming they'll be fine. I love better now, more gently, more intentionally, and maybe that's what all this was for. Not to punish me, but to teach me. Because sometimes the people we lose are the ones who teach us how to hold on better next time. Maybe closure doesn't always come from a conversation. Maybe it comes from learning to forgive ourselves for what we didn't know then, and honoring the people we lost by carrying the lessons they left behind. If you lost friendships too, whether it was your fault, theirs, or no one's at all, just know you're not alone. We're all learning how to be better people, often through the ache of who we used to be. I may never get the chance to say to them directly, but here's what I hope they'd hear anyways. Thank you. I'm sorry. I still care. And to anyone standing beside me, I see you, I appreciate you, and I'm doing my best to never take that for granted again. Thank you for sitting in the quiet with me tonight, for choosing to feel instead of numb, to reflect instead of run. Whatever you're carrying, know this. Some chapters hurt, some people leave, and sometimes we're the ones who disappear for a while. But after the rain, we always find a way back to ourselves. Until next time, take what you need, leave what you don't, and remember, you are never too far gone to start again.